if you read Proverbs 5, hopefully by God's grace, you'll have the same light bulb moment I had recently in regards to why sexual immorality is fun. Let me explain. Now, before we get into this video, I want to say first and foremost, this is a video for men and also for women. Although I'm going to speak very specifically at the start of the video about men, definitely if you're a lady, stick around because we are basically going to bring you in, don't get it twisted, as the video progresses. Just before I show you this, let me give you some context. I was reading Proverbs 5 recently, and as I was reading through the first lines, I kind of just had this light bulb moment. I was like, this actually just makes sense. Do you want to know what I was thinking? I was thinking to myself, look, many of us make the mistake of thinking, you know what, as Christians, just because God prohibits something or advises for you not to do something, this does not mean that it's not enjoyable, it's not fun, it doesn't look good, it's not enticing. And this is the very thing that it says in Proverbs 5. Let me show you. It says, for the lips of a strange woman, or like an immoral woman, right, or a wicked woman, does what? Drop an honeycomb, and her mouth smoother than oil. Notice this, right? Her lips drop a honeycomb. Answer this, ladies and gentlemen. Is a honeycomb nice or bad? Is a honeycomb tasty or yucky? Is a honeycomb something you want or something you don't want? And this is the point I'm making. Many of us make the mistake of thinking that because God may see sexual immorality as something evil or something wicked and something that breaches the confines of marriage, that means therefore that it will never be enticing or it will never be exciting. But Solomon here is writing about what? A woman who, what does it say? But her end is bitter as wormwood, right? Something very deadly and poisonous ultimately, and it's sharp as a two-edged sword. So think about what Solomon was saying there. Interacting, engaging with a woman like this is very pleasurable, is very sweet and enjoyable at first, but really and truly it will take you to destruction. Throughout, Proverbs are guiding us about which women to avoid as men and what kind of woman as a female you should strive to become. You see this all the way through Proverbs, right from the first Proverbs all the way to the crescendo with the Proverbs 31 woman, as is commonly referenced today. I want to give you in today's video a couple of things to kind of tie in everything we've talked about. We've talked about the woman who may look appealing and enticing to certain men, or the female who may think, you know what, I'm enticing a man and it shows that you're attractive or you want to be close to someone, right? But how does Proverbs end? The first thing I want to bring out from Proverbs 31, which I think is very vital in regards to the kind of woman a man should be praying for and the kind of woman she should be praying to become like. What does it say? The first thing, which I think is very powerful and very contrasting to what we talked about in Proverbs 5, is this: for her price far above rubies. We need to be telling our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, all females, reminding them how precious they actually are, right? I try to make a habit of reminding my daughter, right? Reminding my wife, look, you are precious, you are valuable, you are significant, right? So much so to the point, I even had a t-shirt designed based on this particular scripture, which says, more precious than rubies. You can see it. And if you're a guy watching this and you want to support the ministry, you can basically pick up a shirt for a daughter, a sister, a mom, an auntie, a female friend. And if you're a lady, you may want to consider supporting the ministry and getting a shirt like this. Why? So you can remember and remind yourself, you are more precious than rubies. Don't let any man or any smooth talker convince you otherwise. In God's eyes, his daughters are more precious than rubies. That's very priceless if you didn't know so. So we were not just talking about some one night stand or some fling with this female. No. the kind of woman we should be desiring as Christian men or as Christian women you should be praying to be like is a woman who has real worth, right? We'll talk about that more in a moment. But the second thing I want to highlight is what? The proverb goes on and says something very vital. In contrast to the lips and the words that come out of the immoral, strange woman described in Proverbs 5, what does it say in Proverbs 31, which I think is very telling and very exciting? It says, she openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue the law of kindness. So think about the contrast between the woman in Proverbs 5 and this virtuous, righteous, very precious, above rubies woman who opens her mouth not to destroy you, who opens her mouth with wisdom, with preciousness coming out of the mouth, but she's focused on speaking wisdom and kindness. You can see the contrast and separation in the contrast as well. One woman seems very exciting right from the get-go, and that's it. Whereas another woman has real value, speaks words of wisdom and kindness out of her mouth, not words that ultimately will end you in death. She doesn't rely on her beauty, even if she is beautiful and attractive, like the attractive strange woman in Proverbs 5. It says favor deceitful and beauty vain, right? Going back to Proverbs 5. A woman feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. This woman, she may be favorable, but she doesn't rely or trust in her beauty to catch a man. She fears the Lord, and that is the kind of woman that will be praised. I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, being married to the woman I'm married to, I thank God regularly. And I tell her regularly, going back to what I talked about before, about being more precious than rubies for a woman, right? Why? Because I know if I was just making the decision years ago just by myself, yes, she's attractive, my wife. Yes, I'm attracted to her. But there are certain qualities my wife has which I probably most likely would have not picked myself if I didn't handle this decision prayerfully and obviously seeking confirmation from God in different ways. So whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, women are precious, women are beautiful, women are valuable, women are not to be disrespected. You should treat your wife with respect. I mentioned earlier on in the video, we do actually have a t-shirt you can actually purchase if you want to support and also don something that you may find actually very nice. If you believe as a woman you are more precious than rubies, or if you are a guy watching this and you believe there's a female you want to know she's more precious than rubies, I'll leave a link in the description box for you to pick up a shirt or multiple shirts if you want to. Since we're talking about women, one of the things very popular today in regards to men and women, but specifically women, is should women wear jewelry? You can find out right here. Next.